Hello and welcome to another edition of Let's Play WWE 2015. We are now on the road to WWE Fastlane and our last stop before the biggest event of WWE's calendar year, WrestleMania. And that's correct. WrestleMania, I will try my best to put in San Jose, California, or wherever the heck it was last year. But WrestleMania isn't happening for at least another month, so let's get to this show as we're still on the road to Fastlane. Tonight's episode of Raw kicks off with Shelton Benjamin against Zack Ryder, and Benjamin gets the win. Then we move forward as Alicia Fox goes up against Summer Rae, and Alicia Fox is victorious. And now Ryback and Brett Pyle go a very short match to call the pre-show as Ryback gets the victory against Brett Pyle on the pre-show. That's right, Ryback was on the pre-show. Now we kick off Monday Night Raw in a way that you've probably never seen, because you get the normal welcome by Michael Cole. You get the normal welcome by Michael Cole, and then, but it's not, no pyro, no nothing, because we're backstage as the camera comes up with people all around, huddled around, and it seems like somebody's down and injured, and it turns out it's Brie Bella. I'll ask you this: when was the last time you actually saw a woman attacked backstage? Forget backstage. When was the last time you saw a woman attacked to get the show started? Answer me that. When was the last time you saw a woman get attacked to kick off an episode of Raw? I've seen a hell of a lot of episodes of Raw, and I've never seen a woman get attacked to kick off the show. Obviously, Daniel and Kane are pissed off and want to know who the hell attacked Brie, but they're not the only ones, as Nikki's right there with them, and Nikki wants to know as well. And Nikki, Daniel, and Kane ask Naomi and Arn Anderson, who were also in that crowd of people, if they know what happened. And then Daniel looks at Kane and says, "I know what happened. I'm gonna kick their asses for it." Now we move forward. We move to the arena for the first time tonight, with Michael Cole, Byron, and JBL, and Michael asks the question, do you think that the Wyatts are capable of attacking Brie Bella and leaving her in that condition? And JBL, unlike his normal self, actually says, Michael, I don't know what the Wyatts are capable of, but if they're capable of this, I think it would be wise if Daniel backed off. And Byron said, how could you expect them to back off, John? Look at what they did. Byron, if he doesn't back off, he might not have a career to come back to the next time, because if they did that to her, I can imagine what they do to him. Either way, we move to our first match tonight, as Natalya goes up against Tamina, and of course, Natalya's victorious. But they don't. But that's not the big part of this match, because almost immediately following the match, Daniel Bryan and Kane's music play. They come out to the ring, and Daniel, more angry, more pissed off than he's ever been in his WWE career, he comes out and louder. He's screaming for the Wyatts to come out here. He's screaming for the Wyatts to come down to the ring, to face him after what they did to Brie. they don't respond, but somebody else does. And that's Stephanie. And Stephanie brings up something saying, don't you guys remember? Don't you remember, Daniel? Don't you remember that Kane was the one who put you out of commission to begin with? Don't you remember that? Steph, haven't you heard of common enemies? Common enemies? We're not together because we like each other. We're together because we despise the Wyatt family. So now go backstage, find the Wyatts, and get them out here. Because if they think what they did to Bree was bad, they haven't seen nothing yet. That's actually why I'm here, Daniel. Since we can't trust you, and we sure as hell can't trust Kane, with the Wyatts in the arena, I told the Wyatts to leave. Did you ask them if they did it? If they're the ones behind Bree? What happened to Bree? I did not. All I am doing is trying to protect my talent from you, Daniel. I didn't suspend them. I removed them from the arena, and there is security cameras here. We will find out what happened to Bree. I promise you that, Daniel. But you have to do it. You have to work within the system. You have to. And even if you don't, Daniel, tonight you will, because tonight you will be facing Kofi Kingston in the main event. So I suggest you head backstage because you have a match. Because you should be getting ready for your match tonight. Reluctantly, Daniel heads backstage, but both Kane and Daniel hit Stephanie with dirty looks. With big dirty looks. And I can tell you this much, it ain't over between them. Ain't over by a long shot. And now we move to the next match, an 8-man tag team match that was set up last week after Golden Stardust interfered in the Usos and Ascension match last week on Raw, and then they were saved by the World Tag Team Champions, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. But Goldust and Stardust, either way, help the Ascension get the victory over the tag champs and the Usos in this 8-man tag team match. Now we move backstage as AJ finds Natalya. First, she offers her congratulations over a good match tonight against Tamina, but also says, I realize you get a rematch against Mickey. And I realize now after my actions on SmackDown, Paige will get another match against Mickey. But I am also in that match. Because the Authority believes it's what's best for business to make it a fatal 4-way. So I'm just saying, Natty, you may want your title back, but come Fastlane, I'm gonna get my title back. Good luck. Now we move on as Roman goes against Epico in another, well, actually the reason for this match is because due to owner goals or owner restrictions, with the fact that I am the booker, I'm Hunter, due to owner restrictions I am unable to sign back Epico, so that's the reason for this match, and don't ask why the match ended in a submission, I don't know. ask for the promo after the match. Roman's building up his match against Brock by actually taunting the Beast. By saying, "What, Brock? You ain't man enough to come face to face with me? You have to send your manager? You have to send Heyman? And here I thought you were a beast, not a coward." This isn't exactly who Roman expected, but Hunter makes his way out to the ring and announces that, "Roman, if you want to go face to face with the Beast, then you'll get your wish. Because at Fastlane, the official contract signing for your match against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania will happen. And you will be not just in the ring with me, but in the ring with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar at Fastlane. So you'll get your wish. You just gotta wait till then." Reason for this match? Who doesn't like Damien Sandow? And I figure, why not give Sandow a win? For the last couple of months, Jack and Zeb have been, couple of weeks actually. The last couple of weeks, Zeb and Jack have been, how do you say it? Around each other. And Zeb has been encouraging Jack to return to his old ways, but Jack doesn't want to. And now, this is when Zeb actually offers Jack to manage him. Not forever, for one night. One match, one night. Friday night on SmackDown, Zeb Coulter will manage Jack Swagger one more time. And depending on what happens, maybe they'll keep doing it. Who knows? Now we move forward to a match between two people who have a long history with each other, Carlito and John Cena. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I would say sometime in 2004, maybe around WrestleMania season or a little bit after that, look up Carlito versus Cena, SmackDown. Carlito's debut, he beat John Cena for the WWE United States title on SmackDown in 2004, and then went into a interesting feud with Cena for a couple months over the summer, I believe, in 2004. Either way, Cena cuts a promo on Kevin Owens about their match, or about Kevin Owens, and about how Kevin, it's John Cena. What I would do is I would give Cena bullet points. I would tell him, build up your match with Kevin at Fastlane. Just build it up. Just build it up. And get people interested, etc., etc., etc. I'd give Cena whatever he wants as far as that promo. He can do whatever he wants. Now we jump over to Byron and his cohorts as they talk up Cena and Kevin's feud, and what a win for Kevin at Royal Rumble did for his popularity, his notoriety, and his career, and why Kevin has something to prove to Cena and the rest of the world at Fastlane if he can do it again. Now we move to the segment that was announced on SmackDown as The Miz has his special guest, the man who made his debut last week on Raw against going face to face and brawling with Chris Jericho, Samoa Joe. unfortunately for The Miz, and unfortunately for Samoa Joe, things don't go the way they were supposed to, as the show ends before it can go too long, because Jericho runs in, and after somewhat of a heated confrontation, the two once again break out into a brawl. The two once again break out into a brawl and have to be broken up once again, like last week, by security before they can inflict too much damage on each other. But out of all the feuds going on, I will say this: by far, that one has become the most heated feud in the company, as these two can't be too close to each other without getting into a brawl. You saw AJ earlier tonight. Well, AJ against the debuting Evie. Well, what can you expect? We saw Hunter earlier, but now Hunter's back out again, here to announce that he has signed the only Olympic gold medalist in pro wrestling history to a new contract with the WWE. That's right. Kurt Angle is back in WWE. And this is, I give Kurt and Hunter this segment to reminisce and, talk about their history with each other, Kurt's history in the WWE, and how happy Kurt is to be back in the company that gave him his break for one more run. And just in time to be set up for WrestleMania. Now, it's New Day time, but it's just Big E and Xavier, as Kofi is backstage getting prepared for his main event match against Daniel Bryan later tonight, as Big E comes out and basically says, "Christian, you're not the only one who can't stop defending that era of attitude. So now, tonight, right now, I'm issuing an open challenge to anybody back there who can't accept that the era of attitude is dead, and that it is a new day." Well, guess who accepted it? Big Show. Because Big Show's from the Attitude Era, and also Big Show has not done anything thus far this year. But either way, Big Show defeats Big E with help from Christian, and then Christian basically tells the New Day, "Meet my insurance policy. You guys thought you had the numbers advantage? Two of you equals him. He isn't the world's largest athlete for nothing. Anywhere, any place, any time. And we'll prove to you it might be a new day. But as long as the past is still here and still ready to fight, it ain't gone yet." Ain't much to this. You just go backstage and you see Tommy Dreamer sitting backstage reminiscing and catching up with his former ECW alumni, Rob Van Dam. They talk a little bit about Rusev, and it's teased that Tommy may be back to help RVD fend off Rusev and Sheamus. But who knows? For that, you're going to have to wait till SmackDown. Now, a man who has been, I don't want to say cast aside, but maybe not used as much as he should be, Tyler Breeze against Rhino. And Tyler Breeze, of course, is victorious against the veteran as Tyler continues to show up Dolph Ziggler. You know, he says, yeah, he'll say something like, "Oh, you think you're the show off? Well, I'm the whole show." You're not on my league. Well, he just says he's his whole, he's the whole show. Then Tyler goes on his usual promo spiel, but is interrupted by Dolph, who issues a challenge to Tyler for a match at Fastlane, and for him to step up and be a man. And Tyler says, "Dolph, I'm plenty man. You're just not on my level and way out of my league." You will never get in the ring with me. I will admit that I probably missed a segment there. I probably could have tried to have Ziggler run in and have Tyler escape through the back, but always next time. Speaking of next time, you heard from Cena earlier. Kevin can speak volumes on the mic and also speak just as well in the ring. So, here you go. Kevin gets a pretty easy win against Justin Gabriel. Daniel's back out here with Kane, and once again they challenge. They're not calling him out like they were earlier. They're challenging him to a match at Fastlane, and Daniel even says, "I don't care if it's 3-on-2, I don't care if it's a tag team match, I don't care if it's a singles match. Wyatt's, we want to face you at Fastlane." But out of nowhere comes MVP. Because remember last week, when MVP made his Raw return, he interrupted Vince McMahon. And Vince put him in a handicap match against the Wyatt family. So now MVP has unfinished business with the Wyatts, just like Daniel and Kane do. And MVP says, "Look, you might not see eye to eye with him, but all three of us do see eye to eye about one thing. We all have unfinished business with the Wyatts. So instead of going into Fastlane with the numbers disadvantage, how about you make it an even 3? Because I want a piece of the Wyatt's ass at Fastlane just as much. Well, maybe not just as much as you do, but I want a piece of their ass anyway." Welcome aboard. So now you have MVP, Kane, and Daniel ready, willing, and able to go against the Wyatts in a 6-man tag at Fastlane. What's gonna happen? Do the Wyatts accept? Once again, you'll have to find out on SmackDown. Because Raw's over. And we increased our popularity in 19 regions. A very good show as we approach the next pay-per-view in a couple weeks, which is Fastlane. And all you need to know now is Brock, Roman, contract signing at Fastlane. The first face-to-face meeting of the #1 contender and the WWE World Heavyweight Champion as the road to WrestleMania continues. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this that you can only find right here at Wrestling Express. Till next time, later.